Reading of the meeting's notice, please.
The Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Erie, PA will meet in regular session on Wednesday, September 12, 2018, in the auditorium at East Middle School, 1001 Atkins Street, at 6 p.m. by request of the President, Frank Petrunger, Jr.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Harkins?
Here.
Mrs. McNair? Mr. Spagel?
Here.
Mr. Titus?
Here.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Here. Mr. Castillo?
Here.
Mr. Fabrizi?
Here.
Mrs. Feeney?
Here.
Mr. Petrunger?
Here. Pledge of Allegiance led by Jakir Bethia, fifth grade student at Lincoln Elementary School, introduced by Mrs. Carla Johnson, principal, followed by the Lincoln School Pledge, and then followed by a moment of silence for Jacqueline Schley, former custodian and cashier who passed away on August 15, 2018, Elma Vitelli, retired cafeteria worker who passed away on August 16, 2018, Mildred Djanovich, retired teacher who passed away on August 31st, 2018, and Carol King, retired teacher who passed away on September 6, 2018. Ms. Johnson.
Members of the board, superintendent, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my honor to introduce Jakir Bethia. He is the proud son of one of my students from East High School, so I'm very proud to introduce his mother, Erica Everidge, his father, Kivet Bethia. He is a fifth grader at Lincoln in Mr. Sorensen's class. He has two brothers, Jaheem and Khalil. Jakir enjoys learning. He says that math is the key. He also enjoys hanging out with his friends. His favorite subjects are math and science. Jakir is the top last year in fourth grade. He was the #1 student on the PSSA in science advanced. He's also high proficient in math and language arts. He enjoys playing video games, and he plans on attending college to be a game developer. Ladies and gentlemen, Jakir.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am kind and respectful. There is nobody like me. Intelligent is who I am and who I strive to be. As I climb the ladder of success to your university to obtain my degree, I promise to continue my education to become the best me that I can be.
Dude, you are the best you can be. Very nice.
Nice to meet you. Congratulations. I am so proud of you on those science scores. I'm going to give you a high five. Keep up the good work. And will you tell Mr. Sorensen this?
Leading the Pledge of Allegiance at the September 12th, 2018 school board meeting. That's for you. And if you're hungry, you could have a large pizza on the board. How's that? You gotta share. Share. All right? Let me shake your hand. I'll give you the stuff. There you are, sir. Thank you very much. Great job.
As we begin the new school year, we are continuing our practice of honoring a community partner at each monthly board meeting. This month, the board would like to recognize Hammond Health Foundation for their continued and long-standing support of our schools. Hammond Health Foundation was a key partner in the school-based health center project at Wayne School in 2011. The foundation has also served as a corporate partner for the community school model that was started at Wayne and moved to East Middle School in 2017. Over the years, they have also provided grant funding for various projects in our schools, including the middle school pool project that is currently being implemented. Finally, the foundation is very active in the neighborhood around East and is currently working on a new playground and outdoor space across the street at Wayne Park. The board is grateful to Hammond Health Foundation for their long partnership with Erie's Public Schools, and I'd like to ask Charles Boo Haggerty, President of Hammond Health Foundation, to come on stage and accept this recognition.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate all you do. Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure, Brian. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's good. Thank you for all you guys do, because public service is something that I don't think people have enough understanding and respect and appreciation for. So what you all do on the school board is, it's really for those kids, you know, so. Give him a pizza. Great to see you.
Give him a pizza. I'd like to announce that the board met in executive session on Wednesday, September 5th, 2018, in Conference Room 3 at the Dr. James E. Barker Leadership Center, 148 West 21st Street, from 6:19 p.m. to 7:52 p.m. regarding legal and personnel matters, and this evening, Wednesday, September 12th, 2018, in the library at East Middle School from 5:10 p.m. to 5:53 p.m. regarding legal matters and real estate matters. Report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, we're off to a very good start this school year. I want to thank, first of all the community partners that came out on the first day of school to welcome our students back to school in style. I also want to thank our maintenance and custodial staff for all their hard work this summer. The interior of the buildings look better than I've seen in a number of years, and our labor crews are stretched a little bit, but they're working very hard to keep up with the lawn care despite being down several team members. I would also like to remind parents that starting this week, bus passes are required to ride the bus. Information on passes and schedules can be found on our website at eriesd.org/transportation. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. We want to remind our students and families of the many student support resources available to them through their schools. And I'd also like to point out that our new app, our new district app, also features an anonymous tip line that students and families can use to report issues and incidents. As you may have seen in the paper, our district was the beneficiary of a gun violence reduction grant in cooperation with the City of Erie and Mercyhurst University. Our part of this grant will be used to continue the support, the good work of the Blue Coats, act as a bridge between our schools and the community. We are grateful for the continued support and help of the Blue Coats, and especially the work of Daryl, Brother D. Craig, helping to keep our schools and our students safe. Finally, this was one of the hottest starts of the school year on record. I'd just like to thank METS for providing water to help keep our students hydrated on those hot days, and our facility staff for going out very quickly and acquiring additional fans to help improve airflow. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
I move we accept the report of the superintendent.
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Harkins, second by Mr. Cassillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing of citizens, persons desiring to speak for 5 minutes must submit the request in writing to the Secretary's office at least 1 week prior to the board meeting. All others may speak 3 minutes. We have one 5-minute speaker, Mr. McDonald, speaking on top of Erie School District business. Mr. McDonald, are you here? I don't see him. I don't see him. So we'll move on. If anybody would like to speak for 3 minutes. Yeah, just go right up to the podium, write your name and your address on the paper up there.
Buddy, how is everyone today?
Good.
Good. My wife and I are coming to you today. We're property owners over on the west side. We have 3 children currently attending the Erie School District, 2 at Strong Vincent, and our youngest, which is our concern, what brings us here today, Caleb. He's 8 years old. He goes to Grove City Elementary. Thank you, Grover Cleveland. Excuse me. The concern is regarding a transportation problem. Right now, my wife and I both work 50 plus hours a week. It's necessary in this day and age, to have 2 people in the home working in order to have a successful household. And right now I'm putting my job at risk because I have to leave at 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day to pick up my son from school because there's no safe option for him to get home. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I have bus-only options for my middle school children for them to get home. I don't mind paying for a bus pass, for them to get on a bus-only, student-only bus, but I don't have that option for Caleb. I have public transit or walking. These aren't very good options, and in our opinion, these aren't really options at all. Public transit, to shorten things, stranger danger obviously is an issue. There's no guarantee on the bus times, on top of the fact that I'm forced to hold my 8-year-old accountable, to getting into that bus stop on time and getting off in the right stop, and that's just not reasonable. Walking isn't an option either. I pick my son up, I drive him home, 10 intersections, not a single crossing guard. And we're talking 32nd and Green Garden, we're talking 26th and Green Garden. These are not safe intersections for small children, even in a school zone, to be crossing. Not to mention, in the wintertime, residents have 3 hours to remove their snow, so you can't really guarantee clear sidewalks. It's a big problem. I'm not trying to be combative. Maybe there's something we can do to work together to solve this problem, but it's definitely a problem. The only option that's going to remain to us is putting him in cyber school, which hurts you. It's not good for you guys. And other parents are going to have this option as well. We have to figure something out. I can't leave work every day for the rest of the year. I want to know, you have all the busing concerns addressed for the middle and high school students, but I think you have 5 elementary schools without a bus schedule. So you basically, you're leaving the elementary students to fend for themselves, and the concern there is for the safety of your smallest children. The working and middle class people who provide you with your annual budget by paying taxes can't afford to leave work to pick up their small children. What's your yearly budget? And just a few more seconds, please, I'm almost finished. What's your yearly budget for transportation? How is this allocated? Are you taking advantage of government, private grants, funding for transportations, things like Safe Routes to School, others? If so, how's it being used? How much money are you guys getting? These are important questions.
I appreciate that. Your 3 minutes is up, though. I appreciate it. You want something?
What kind of response can I expect?
This is only to hear this is not a back and forth forum, but we're going to have the superintendent have someone speak with you.
Mr. Persnicki, the gentleman in the back holding up his hand, he works with our transportation department. If you want to speak to him, he might be able to address your issues directly. Thanks.
If you want to, Randy, yeah, let him know.
Mr. President, board members, my name is Steve Mooney. I live at 1122 East 37th Street. I have a grandson in the school district at present time. He goes to Strong Vincent. This is his first year there. I pick him up from school each day. Each day I go to the school, and I park on the street next to, on the east side of Strong Vincent. I've noticed that there's a issue with parking for parents when they're picking up their students. I checked with the parking authority. They told me there is no rules for parking around the schools when it's a time of picking up students, as far as the parents are concerned. The issue that I've noticed is that the buses that pick up the kids have a difficult time finding somewhere to park because of parents parking on the lane on the west side of the East Street at Vincent. I did call the school district, and I thanked them for addressing this issue with the principals at Vincent. But my concern is, in 75, let me go back, in 75, I was the first soccer coach at East High School. And I noticed that the school, there was a big lack of responsibility when it came to taking care of our schools. The school is now gone. We have this particular new school, and we still have some other schools built hundreds of years ago, very good facilities that have not been taken care of. My question and my concern is, are you concerned about how the school district seems to be lacking in their responsibilities as far as the schools are concerned, as far as the rules are concerned, as far as the appearance of students and teachers are concerned, and as far as whatever your board is supposed to be doing as far as the school district is concerned? I see one or two members here in suit and tie, ladies dressed well. There was a picture taken with the Hammond man here with the president with a pair of blue jeans and a shirt on. I think the professionalism has gotten extremely lax, and I think there's something that should be addressed about it. What are we teaching these students? We want to address violations legally, criminally, but we don't address the things that make the biggest difference, which are the smaller things. How our teachers dress in the classroom, how the rules are applied on parking around the schools, and how we look as adults to these students each day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lindsay Confer. I am the parent of Isabella, Xavier, and Elizabeth Lander. I live on 1109 Plum Street. My children attend Harding. And I wanted to talk to you guys about an issue concerning the safety of our children and bullying. The students are throwing like fully sharpened pencils at each other on the bus, and I'm talking to a point like a dart, like a weapon. There are children hiding under their book bags. They are throwing papers out the window, which is an issue for the city as a whole. They are pulling the yellow cord to have the bus driver stop every block. And the bus driver also urges us to come up here because he even says it's an unsafe situation. They're not listening. Even at the bus stops, the kids are running around, screaming, not listening. My thought is that, you know, the adult buses in the EMTA bus system have, they all have cameras, and the students, our youngest children, don't have cameras, and we have pre-K kids riding with fifth graders, and it becomes a bullying issue. And I think that there is a way to put cameras on the bus, either whether to petition the EMTA to perhaps use some of their camera equipped buses, or for the school district to somehow provide cameras on the buses. The adult, well, not the adult, but the high school students don't have these kind of problems. And the height alone in difference. You know, we're talking 5th grade kids that are this tall and little kids that are this tall. You know, they can literally kick them and make them go flying. So I guess my concern is that also that they don't have to answer for their actions because there is no proof that it happened. The principal calls them down to the office, they say it never happened, and there's no proof. The parents will back these children and say that my child didn't do that. And you know, there's no way to pinpoint the situation or take care of it. Maybe put the children who are having issues with behavior on a three-strike policy where, you know, depending on the nature of the incident, you know, this happens once, warning, second time, warning, both times notifying the parents, and the third time you get kicked off the bus. Because bullying should not be allowed in our schools. And I'm just, you know, concerned with the safety. It's become a major issue. I guess that's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Ma'am, could you tell me which bus number your children ride?
They go to Harding. I know it's an issue with a couple of them. I think it's 3:21 in the morning and 3:31 in the evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not seeing anybody else, we'll move on. Any reports of committees and liaisons?
Yes.
Okay, Tyler?
I just wanted to take a minute and reiterate what Brian had talked about, just about this being the Suicide National Prevention Month. I think it's really imperative that we take a moment as parents, as community members, as teachers, to really talk about this with our students. Suicide is the third leading cause of death between 15 and the age of 24, and I think it really is imperative that these kiddos know who the helpers are in these situations. You know, just with the Suicide Prevention Line or Crisis Services or the SAP team within the school. So I just wanted to take a minute to kind of reiterate what you had said, just about the importance of understanding that anxiety, depression, and all these things are occurring at an exponential rate, especially for our kids. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Not seeing any. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion by Mr. Spiegel. Second by Linda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? We'll move on to new business.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I move we approve the new business of the school district and the supplemental new business of the school district, that being items 6 and 7 on the agenda in their entirety.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Harkins, second by Mr. Cassillo. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Spiegel?
Yes.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. Approval of the minutes from August 15th, 2018.
Move we approve them.
Moved by Mr. Harkins, second by Mr. Spiegel. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Bills and payroll.
Move we pay them.
Motion by Mr. Harkins,
Second.
second by Mr. Spiegel. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Okay, one moment, Mr. President.
Okay.
You're so efficient.
Get rolling.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Spiegel?
Yes.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. Report of the secretary.
Move we approve her report.
No, second.
Motion by Mr. Harkins, second by Mr. Cassillo. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Spiegel?
Yes.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. We have no awards on bids. Any other matter?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd just like to welcome everybody back to school. I haven't been around to very many of the schools this year, as I like to look at them once in a while. But I can say on Strong Vincent, my son goes there as well. He's in 7th grade. He's absolutely enjoying his classes. I've walked around there, and to second what Mr. Polito said, it was the cleanest that I've seen that school in a long time, so those people have done a heck of a job. I do understand your frustration of parking and dropping off. I do that at least once a day over there. So I understand that, but it seems like they're making the best of what they can for that situation. I wish we could have a little better situation, just kind of landlocked there. But it seems to me that the curriculum, he's in the honors program over there, the curriculum over there is just top notch. He has homework. It seems like he has challenging homework every evening, which I like to keep him off that fortnight. And I think so far from this parent's position, things are going well this year, and I hope the same for all the other parents.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Harkins.
3 related things. I very recently heard from a citizen who was concerned, interested, and had been involved. And the first thing was that we had approved a plaque honoring Dr. Raymond Dombrowski, and it was to be hung in the lobby of Erie High School. And I don't think it's happened yet. I didn't know if it had, but I told this citizen I'd look into it, and it's not a complaint. It's just I'd like to ask the administration to have the appropriate people let us know if it is or if it isn't, and if when it can be accomplished if it hasn't already. And in a related matter, there was to be a plaque when the Pro Football Hall of Fame honored Fred Biletnikoff. There was to be a plaque noting his achievement in the same location. So the citizen was concerned that neither one may have been accomplished yet. And one more third thing was that when the Pro Football Hall of Fame honored Fred Biletnikoff, there was to be some money involved offered from them to help us with the field. And I guess that's somewhat of a standard procedure for the Pro Football Hall of Fame to do that. I don't know how they afford it, but I think Daria is aware of some of this, maybe all of this, and I haven't had a chance to talk to her. It was very recent when I heard from this guy. So if the superintendent could have the appropriate people just check into it and give us a little update when convenient. Thanks.
Anybody else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Motion by Mr. Cassillo, second by Mr. Spiegel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.